Welcome to Pink Kink,
where we talk about the pretty, twisted side of kink.
I'm Princess Rara.
And I'm Dara, the Electro Khaleesi.
Whether you are a new kinkster or have years of experience, Pink Kink will help you level up your kink knowledge.
Join us on this journey as we talk about our personal experiences and use the knowledge we've gained over 28 years of being involved in both private and professional aspects of this lifestyle to help you explore every facet of kink.
Get set for an adventure. Not only will you learn and grow, but we promise loads of laughter, turning each episode into a fun party. So fasten your seatbelt and let's get this show started. Pink Kink runs off the generosity of our devoted patrons.
As a patron, you will become a member of our special Discord server, receive some adorable Pink Kink stickers, as well as have access to a monthly behind-the-scenes podcast. Patrons also get discounts at our Etsy shop, Pink Kink Boutique, and our online classes at Pink Kink Institute.
In addition, our impactful and electrifying Pink Kinksters get special audio and video episodes. And finally, patrons at our highest tier will be recognized as producers, both here on the podcast and on our website.
If you would like to become a patron, you can visit us at patreon.com/pinkkinkpodcast or click the link at pinkkinkpodcast.com.
Today's episode is produced by our electrifying Pink Kinksters. Thank you, Jay, Witcherman, Brianna Lynn, Daddy J, Fabe, Embers, Blossom, William P, Claire, Lady Blooding, Naughty and Nice, Butte Pain, Manda Panda, Kat, Stefan, Shadow Phoenix, Kilted Sir, Brian, May Cry Devil, Ruby Riot, Mistress Velma, Enchanted Sparrow, The Wombat, Impact Hazard, Twitch, The Midnight Girl, Sinful, J21, Daisy If You Do, AK Harley Chick, Violet Rain, Serenity, Belle, Eric, Lady Affliction,
Dr. Dave, Pumpkin Pie, Ms. Tourmaline, S'more, Hacksaw, Wee Mad Beastie, To Be Better For Me, 3 a.m. Thoughts, Forrest, BP Bryn, Crash Override, Iro, Kinky Bear, Sviper No Swiping, Barbie, Navigator Bard, Frost, Sinful and Naughty, Coffee and Chaos, Noir, Haley's Comment, Mr. Pillsbury, Stitch, Peaches, Mighty Owl, Princess Sassy Pants, Lady and Lex, Chaos Monster, Casper, Hazel Page, Jessa Lady, DJ Harlow, Ophelia, Master A, and Drew.
Yeah, I got this.
Do you?
I got this.
I'm not sure you really do.
I'm not sure I got this.
Do you want to take a minute?
Yeah, well, I might, because I haven't looked at these notes. We were originally going to record this a couple weeks ago and ran out of time. And I was so busy getting everything else done, I forgot to go back and review these notes.
Well, that is just very un-rah-rah of you.
I know.
All right, so what I need you to do is take a deep breath, maybe say some mantras, get your head in the right place.
Do you feel better that you've done that?
Yes.
I feel like, but then we'd be going right into this episode. Shouldn't we be talking about stuff before we go right into this episode?
Sure. Would you like to talk about your time at the dungeon on Friday?
Oh, I did. I can.
Go for it, because I have zero fucking things to share.
Well, I did. I went to Baltimore Playhouse for the first time since, I think, 2019, which is weird to think that was 5 years ago.
Yeah, that's... What? Really?
It's 2024.
God damn it.
So 2019 is 5 years ago.
No, I refuse to believe shit is... I'm not old. It's fine.
No, it's fine. It's fine. And we went up there for kinky karaoke.
Not in 2019, but Friday, right?
Friday. No, I'm sure that was probably when I was last there, was kinky karaoke.
Okay.
Because I used to go all the time. I mean, it's fun. Beatings, bad singings. What more does one need? What do you want?
I don't. Well, neither one of those are really my jam.
So we drove up there. It's a bit of a schlep, but we got there, and we all sang a song. Everybody in the group was forced to sing a song. That was the requirement, so they were going to have to walk home. That's what I told them. I drove. I have very weird rules. So they also had to listen to Taylor Swift in the car because she who drives gets to choose the playlist.
The torture.
Yes. But we had some fabulous conversations, so I didn't really get to torture them too much and make them sing in the car. But I did make them sing at Kinky Karaoke. But I ended up doing 3 scenes that night. The first one is I got to bottom for rope.
Oh, you haven't done that in a while.
Years, which was really nice. Didn't do a full suspension because it's our first time tying together and I wasn't about to do full suspension for the first time. And it's also when you're used to doing things a certain way, because I was with Simple Beauty for so long and that's who I tied with all the time. And it would be unfair for me to expect a new top to do things the exact same way Simple Beauty did. But that means I now had to wrap my head around that it's going to be different. And different doesn't necessarily mean bad.
It's just different.
It's just different. But sometimes you have to kind of remind yourself different doesn't mean bad. And go, it's okay that somebody does something different. And so we had a lovely tie. It was very sweet. And I will definitely tie with them again.
You had a lovely time.
No, you had to work way too hard on that one.
I thought it was. Shut up.
When you have to work that hard.
I thought it was funny. In my head, it was funny. Shut up. My head is not right today. So, and you know it.
So, but I definitely will tie with them again. It was nice. I really enjoyed it. It was good to have rope on me again. And that made me happy.
Did you do the usual?
I don't know.
Oh, but nobody actually yelled it out to the entire room this time?
But here's what's really funny. Actually, you will really appreciate this. So one of the things that I really appreciated, he has a full writing on FET that he asks people who he's going to tie with to please read, where it goes over his viewpoints of how he ties, his risk profile, his expectations. You know, like it's very crystal clear that unless he's truly in a relationship with you, this is going to be a platonic tie. Safety. I mean, it was wonderful.
Sounds right up your alley.
It was great. And actually, I made a suggestion for an addition to it. He's like, oh my God, you're right. I'm going to add that to it.
What is this? Naughty and Nice's new partner?
Yep.
Perfect.
So anyway, and he also talks about the cleanliness of his ropes in the writing about how often they're cleaned and washed and all that.
Okay, this is actually badass.
Right? Body fluids on it and stuff. So as he's tying me, I said, and as he's getting ready to tie me and he's pulling the ropes out, he's letting me know when he last washed them. And I said, speaking of which, because I've read your writing, you should know if you're going to tie me, you're going to need to wash the ropes after you're done. And mind you, I'm standing at this point and he's literally down on his knees by my feet. Because he's tying in my...
Did you explain why?
I just said that to him. You're going to have to wash it. And he just looked up at me with a big grin on his face. He goes, oh, I know. I listened to the podcast.
Oh, that's amazing.
So it was like really perfect.
This dude's getting better and better. I think we should keep him.
I think we're going to.
Oh my God.
So that was pretty funny. So I did that. Then I popped somebody's needle cherry.
Excellent.
Which was great. And I gave them their sticker, which they loved. My needle cherry was popped by Princess Rara sticker, which they thought that was great. And then I got to beat the ever-living fuck out of Naughty and Nice.
Perfect.
Oh my God. So first, let's start off by saying I got to wear my brand new pink Doc Martens for the first time.
Yes.
I had broken them in. They were ready to go. At one point in the middle of the scene, as I'm beating her, I have her lie down on the ground.
Like you do.
And I start stomping on her and kicking her and stepping on her. Oh my God, I'm not sure who made the better sounds. Her or the giggles of glee that were coming from me at how much fun I was having and causing the sound effects that she was making.
I feel like this would make a pretty good video.
I think it would make a great video that people stop to watch.
Yes.
Because I was not being gentle. And I had a chair that I brought up next to her so I wouldn't lose my balance. And at points I was almost putting my entire weight onto her ass, onto the back of her thigh. It was great. And because the Doc Martens were leaving beautiful.
Oh, yeah. The
blueprints.
Oh, yeah.
So I know she's bruised. I haven't gotten any update yet today to see how the bruises are going. But I know that bruises were already forming that night. And it was really interesting because of how hard of a scene it was. Instead of our usual giggling back and forth, there wasn't, because she had to really concentrate to take it. And it ended up being very cathartic for her. And she cried, which she needed desperately.
Oh, good.
Because she'd had, like you, she'd had a hell of a week.
Well, I'm so glad that I haven't gotten my catharsis from this week yet.
Yeah.
In fact, somebody was just texting me saying, have you used the new cable I made for you? And I was explaining, no, I had to put all of my stuff away because my mother had to come babysit my husband for the for the remainder of the week. And he actually mentioned, yeah, let me know because, that'll really help, I think, get the catharsis out. And I went, oh my fucking God, you're right. So I need to go home and get zapped.
Oh, otherwise I was going to go say, I'll go put on my Doc Martens and step on you if that'll help.
No, but you could punch me in the ass and that would probably be great.
I could do that.
We can do that.
Yeah, no
I'm
problem.
okay with that.
But yeah, I had a couple people come up and stop to stare at my array of pink toys that were laying down that was using.
Did they touch them?
No, actually somebody was really curious about it and I gave him permission to touch it.
Ah, good. Because you were saying at one point, too many people touching your stuff.
Well, what's really cool is what we were is at one of the things that I love about Baltimore Playhouse is like twice the size of Crucible. And therefore there's more space to spread
massive.
out. And there's a particular thing that they call, I think it's called Whip Alley or something like that, where it's specifically set up so if you're using single tails, you're safe. You're not going to accidentally hit somebody because behind you is the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like roped off the area except for the one section where you step up onto this platform. So I was up there. So nobody, you'd have to go out of your way to come over to where I was. And the largest fucking St. Andrew's cross I've ever seen with the biggest pad, it was very comfortable. Like that is perfect for somebody who is not tiny because there's plenty of padding for you to lean against. But oh my God, not only did she end up crying, but she was out of it for a little bit because she really, I got her good.
Oh, that sounds awesome though.
So it was amazing scene. And it was very cathartic for me because I didn't have to hold back as much. I could really let loose. Our scenes are just getting better and better, which is so fantastic.
You're getting to know each other more and more. The more you've seen with somebody, the more you trust them, the more you know what they can handle. Yeah.
And my skill set's getting better.
You're just adding more and more stuff to it.
So I also got to use for the first time my single tail. I have a 3-foot single tail that I had commissioned that is, of course, pink and black.
Of course.
And it's beautiful. And I got to use that. And she absolutely loved it. So it was an amazing fucking night. We got home because it was a long-ass drive coming back. So we'll be going back up again. If anybody who lives out in that area, I know I will be up at Baltimore Playhouse July 13th, I think. You will be at Crucible. I'm going to be at Baltimore Playhouse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's risque night. But I'll be demo topping for Sinful and Naughty.
Cool beans.
So yeah, I'll be there. It's a nice femme event.
Yeah, I was reading about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the same night as risque, so you can't be in two places at the same time. But yeah, it was wonderful. So that's really the only dungeon stories I have since we last recorded.
I don't have any. I've only gone to risque, and I think I talked about. Wait, no,
we recorded
after risque, so I don't think we have anything else.
Nope. So all right, so I guess we can get into this week's episode.
Well, okay. The good news is it's been 10 minutes.
Oh, okay. So good.
So we wasted enough time,
and we're not breaking any records then.
Nope, no records, but also no rules of delving straight in, which you have done on several occasions. You've broken that rule.
I know.
And you disappointed
and I
me.
do have a lot of notes, so I'll try to talk fast.
Okay, ready on your mark,
right.
get set, go.
So this episode was not inspired by TikTok.
What?
I know.
That's a first. That's like 2 in a row that we're not inspired by TikTok. Holy shit.
So this episode actually came about because I've been working on some new, I'm sure there's a technical name for it. And if I'd had more coffee, I would remember what it was. The stuff we download on and sell on Etsy, like the journaling prompts and the other stuff.
Digital media?
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh my God. So
wow, brain fart and a half right there.
I've been working on some new digital media to add, which you guys will see sometime in June, hopefully. And one of the ones is like a weekly guide for people involved in dynamics to fill out. And it also, I think this might have been, I saw somebody mention something about this on Instagram and it grabbed my attention. So not TikTok, Instagram instead. And it was about mantras and incorporating mantras into your dynamic. And I remember I very much had that in my dynamic where I had to have a mantra about how I looked. And it had to be something positive about how I looked. I don't remember exactly what it was because we're talking back in like 9 years ago. but it was all about something positive that I would say to myself. And it's very common in dynamics, especially if you have, let's say, a submissive who's got some insecurities. And at this point, who the fuck doesn't?
Seriously.
To have one of your daily tasks be a mantra. And I thought, well, that would be a very fascinating episode to talk about mantras, to talk about how they came about, what exactly are they, why do they work, and how do they work, and how you can incorporate it in your dynamic. So that's why I have 250 pages of notes here.
Hold up, for real?
No.
Okay, no, it's just 6. What the fuck? Why would you do that to me?
Because I love the look on your face.
Oh my
remember,
God,
again,
it looked like I was going to vomit.
I am a sadist.
You did it. Good job.
But I have some, but I did
me.
make sure to include in my notes whys.
Oh, well, okay, that makes up for saying 250 pages. And look, they're not all paragraphs either. I'm very proud of you right now.
I've been switching over to the bullet point. So,
ooh, history too. I like that.
Right? But yeah, and we will cover, for those of you, don't fast forward, guys, or skip or stop listening at any point, because we're not going to cover until the end practical ways to incorporate the mantras into your daily life. So you don't want to miss that, because that's really probably what you're here for. So let's start off with a little bit of an introduction to mantras and what they are. They have been around for thousands of years, and a lot of different cultures actually use them, mostly for spiritual purposes. One of the points, so like I'm going to destroy these words, so please, no hate. You know that'll make me cry. We don't want that. So in my research, I found there was the Vedic period, which was ancient India.
I think it's Vedic. Or Vedic.
Oh, Vedic.
There's
See?
no N.
I'm already running into problems.
I'm just looking at it thinking,
Yeah.
Where's the N?
Okay. Mantras were used in rituals and prayers, part of the oldest Hindu scriptures. Then you had I put these in just so you could laugh at me. The Pashadic.
Whoa. Whoa.
Do you want to try to say that?
No. First of all, but also the what?
I could just skip to the fact that over time, mantras evolved from ritual chants to actual tools for meditation and self-awareness.
You know what? I'm going to grab that word and I'm going to Google how to pronounce it.
Okay, well, you do that. Then, of course, you have Buddhism and Jainism, which adopted mantra practices for more meditation and devotion.
Okay, hang on. Here we go.
All right, here we go.
It's not playing. Fantastic.
We'll find out.
We'll figure it out.
Okay. Of course, I'm sure you guys have heard of Tantra, right? So Tantra expanded the use of mantras for spiritual transformation and emphasized the power of mantras to awaken your inner energies.
I'm still stuck on this dang word.
You keep going on that. I'll just keep going.
Okay.
And then, of course, it spread to East Asia, where the practices continued through Buddhism, adapting to different local cultures and languages, and where we are now today in the modern era, where they're used worldwide for spiritual growth, easy for me to say, stress relief, and personal development.
I like getting my stressfully on. Yes.
Well, see, I'm stressed. That's why I may have to do a mantra. It's both within religious context as well as beyond religious context. So now the favorite thing, ready? The meaning of the term.
Ooh.
And its etymology.
I love etymology.
I know. So mantra actually originates from Sanskrit, and it combines man, which means mind, and tra, meaning tool or instrument. So literally, mantra translates to mind, tool, or instrument of thought.
Love that. That's fucking awesome.
Right? Which is basically what it's going to do. So the way that mantras are typically used, you've got used in meditation, where they're very central to different meditation forms across spiritual transitions. They help you with quieting your mind, aiding in concentration, and fostering mindfulness. Different repetitive chanting helps redirect your attention, promoting an inner stillness and heightened awareness. And the benefits from using it in a meditative purpose is through relaxation, stress reduction, emotional balance, and apparently spiritual insight.
Yeah, I need a lot more of this in my life.
Yeah.
For real.
Well, we're going to help you come up with one.
Okay.
And I'll give you a little hint, you guys. I'm actually also working on another digital media download of how to create of a worksheet to help you create a mantra.
Oh, cool.
So that's a little hint into the future.
I need that.
I know. So mantras are also very much used by many religions as prayer in seeking divine blessings, guidance, and protection. Through mantras, they express devotion, gratitude, and reverence toward whatever deity or spiritual principle you follow. And through repetition, practitioners, I cannot speak today.
That's okay. Neither can I.
That's good when you're doing a podcast. Here, go ahead and talk, people who can't talk.
Right. Talking is like the main thing that we have to do, and neither one of us are capable of it.
Talking is hard.
Oh, no.
Cue
the little.
Okay. Through repetition, you're establishing a sacred connection with the divine or the divine will. And you can either recite your mantra out loud or silently. I know in Judaism we have this. There's certain prayers that every day we recite, and usually quietly because it's just between you and God.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, you have ritual practices, both for those who use them for religious purposes or spiritual traditions, where you believe that using a mantra, it helps you with purifying and sanctifying environments or yourself, whether you do it in elaborate temple ceremonies or simple home rituals. It's just, real God.
Take a sip. So I'm gonna just, while Rara's taking her sip, one thing that this kind of struck me as, I never really thought about this, but when I'm flying in a plane, I'm like absolutely fucking terrified. I hate flying in planes. I'm not scared of heights. I'm scared of falling.
Mm-hmm.
So during takeoff,
it's not the falling you're scared of. It's the crash landing.
Dying when I hit the ground part.
Yeah.
That's what I'm scared of. Yeah. But when we're taking off, that's probably the worst part. And then anytime there's turbulence, because you know that feeling where you just,
yep,
that sudden drop.
Oh God. You get in elevators too sometimes.
Oh, I can't. I'm like scared of elevators at this point. I can't stand that feeling. First of all, it makes me so unbelievably nauseous every time. Like the motion sickness is so bad. And then on top of that, the just full out fear. Weirdly enough, that's the only time I'm Catholic.
Well, it makes sense.
Because I'll start reciting Hail Marys.
But that's a mantra.
That's what I just realized. It makes me feel better.
Yep.
I don't even believe in it. It's like a leftover habit. But
it brings you comfort.
It does. It's like the only thing that works because it's something that I can repeat over and over and over again by heart.
Yep.
I don't have to say it out loud. I literally just mouth it. And it's something about the repetition of it.
Would you like to know why?
Why?
Because that's the next section.
Oh, good.
So we can stop trying to somehow come up with words that I cannot come up with in the history and get to the mechanics of it.
Hey, there's lots of history about mantras. Go Google it.
And now we're up to science, and my science skills are just as lacking. So I'm going to power my way through this, folks. Here we go. I'm going to stop for a minute and do a mantra. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. There we go. I've mantraed.
Well, before we get into
that verb? I mantraed.
Mantra, it is now. You want to have something kind of cute about that?
Yeah.
So there's a historical weirdness about me and saying specifically that prayer in a plane. And I didn't realize that this was the same thing. I have a great uncle that died in World War II because he was a ball gunner in a plane that went down. Huge, long story, pretty famous crash. If you want to, you can look it up. It's the piggyback crash of the 100th Bombardment Group. Anyway, so he died, but apparently on the way down, he was saying Hail Marys the whole way down.
There we go.
And they could hear it in the radio.
Oh, wow.
And I had no idea because I've been saying the Hail Marys since I was a kid. I had no idea, but apparently it was the same thing.
There you go.
So now I'm like, God damn it, that means I'm going to die in a plane because I'm saying Hail Marys.
Listen, if you've ever tried to do like the little engine that could, I think I can.
I think I can. Yes, my old car, whenever it went up a hill.
That's basically, guys, a mantra.
Oh, the little engine that could is a mantra.
There you go. So let's talk about the mechanics. Why the hell does it work? They've actually done studies on how repetitive sound affects brain activity and neural pathways. leading to psychological and physiological changes. So they looked at brainwave patterns, and mantra repetition affects your brainwave patterns. EEG studies have shown that chanting mantras alters your brainwave frequencies, increasing the alpha and theta waves, which in significance of that is that alpha and theta waves signify relaxed meditative states. So if you've increased that, you are more relaxed, and that's a good thing.
So it doesn't really matter what you say as long as it's something repetitive?
That seems to be, listen, they're just looking at the science of it. So,
oh, that's really cool.
It affects your neural pathways, your brain connections it affects the attention, emotion regulation, and self-awareness. And long-term effects of doing this is it strengthens your connections associated with positive emotions and self-reflection. Because our brains, there's neuroplasticity. Okay.
I think a neuroplasty would be
a procedure done.
It would be plastic surgery on your brain.
I'm sorry, your brain is not attractive enough. I would like to have some.
It's got too many wrinkles. Yes. I think it needs a facelift.
Could you smooth it out a little?
You know what that does, right? Makes you stupider.
Yes. Your brain adapts over time, shaping your cognitive and emotional processes. Oh my gosh, she snorted. We haven't gotten a snort in a while.
Because I just remembered, I don't remember where it's from, but it's the greatest insult of all time. And I swear to God, it came from a Disney movie or something. You have a smooth brain.
Oh my God, that would be.
Isn't it?
Listen, can I get through this hard science section so I can get to the good stuff? You okay? Mantras activate your parasympathetic nervous system, which, again, promotes relaxation and restores equilibrium.
You did a good job with that one.
Thank you. That one, I don't know why that one I could say. There's physiological changes. It reduces your heart rate, your blood pressure, and muscle tension. And it counters stress response, which is why you're more relaxed and calm. And the rhythms and sounds of the mantra also has an effect.
I don't know how calm I am on a plane. It just keeps me from screaming.
But think about it. You are calmer because you're focusing on the mantra and saying it. And there's a pattern to Hail Mary, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, to me, Hail Mary's a football play. So I don't know your Hail Mary.
Okay, so the football play literally comes from the prayer.
I know, I understand. But I'm assuming that there's a pattern to it. And there's what's the word I'm looking for? Because words again are hard. There's a rhythm.
Yes. I mean, most prayers or repetitive things like that are poems.
Mm-hmm.
So because they're easy to memorize.
Right. But it's that rhythm, and sticking to that rhythm is what's helping to reduce your stress levels.
I guess, yeah. So that makes sense. That makes total sense.
All right. So basically, in summary, because I can't handle this stuff, I want to get to the good stuff.
Oh my God.
Look, I'm trying to be very educational here, and you're not helping.
Sorry.
Basically, they're saying that the research suggests that mantra repetition has actual profound impacts on brain activity, neural pathways, and physiological functioning. The science says so.
The science said so, and I am not sitting here re-mouthing words at you and being stupid on the side.
No, not much at all.
No, the little is not raring to go right now.
Okay. So, in other words, the science has proven that there are tons of benefits. We talked about them, right? Stress reduction, mood improvement, cognitive enhancement. They actually did official meta-analysis and systematic reviews on this. I just want to know why. I mean, I'm glad that they have it so we could talk about it. But what made somebody wake up one morning and go, let's do an entire scientific study on why mantras are positive for you?
Hey, listen, neuroscience people need shit to do too.
Mm-hmm. Did you know that it actually helps in reduction of anxiety and depression and PTSD symptoms?
So what you're saying is I need to go into any meeting with my boss where I'm about to antagonize the shit out of him and say mantras the whole time.
Yeah. Do not kill him.
Got
Do not
you.
kill him. Do not kill him. Do not kill him. Yeah.
Or let him kill me. That would be preferable too.
Well, you don't want that.
No. Because then it would leave you all alone on this podcast and it'd be very sad.
I'd have to learn editing.
You'd have to do a
I don't
whole...
want to take one more thing on, please.
You'd have to do a whole funeral on the
Yeah.
podcast for me. Like an episode dedicated to Dara and then never speak of me again.
I know. So do I need to go any further into why you should do mantras?
No, it's beneficial in your brain and in your spirit. There you go.
Oh, thank God. Because that's hard. That science stuff is hard.
Yeah,
I
well,
was
you
not
said
good
you
in
said
science.
good words. You said parasympathetic without even like
Yeah,
blinking.
that one I got. It was all the others that I could not get. I can say these words. I can say these words. I can say these words. See, that was my mistake. I did not do that before we started this
You
episode.
gotta work your way up.
I did
to
not
it, yes.
mantra-size.
What?
Like exercise. It's like exercise and mantra-size.
Rara. You can't just sit here and make,
Make
up
up
words.
Why not?
Because you're not Shakespeare.
No, I'm better.
Oh my God.
He would never have come up with mantra-size.
Nope. Can safely say probably didn't know what a mantra was.
And he should have, because it was around even before him, as evidenced by my attempt to get through history.
Listen, historical England is not exactly known for being adaptable to other cultures' stuff. So,
All right, so let's actually talk about mantras in DS dynamics
okay.
and how actually they intersect with power dynamics, as well as give you practical strategies for incorporating them.
Cool, let's do it.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's do it.
So let's talk about the intersection of mantras and power dynamics. The whole role of verbal commands, affirmations, and mantras helps reinforce those power dynamics in evidence by, protocols that you put into place is like a mantra. Why are you laughing at me now?
Going back to the words that you couldn't pronounce. Sorry, I'm still... Go ahead. Ignore
You sure?
Me. I'm good. I can't stop giggling. I don't know why. I wasn't even... Okay, I'm
Deep
good.
breath.
I'm fine.
No, you're not.
Stop. I can't look at you.
God damn. This is supposed to be serious.
Okay.
This is supposed to be a serious episode.
Why?
I don't know.
All right. Wait. Just damn it. I couldn't even say what I wanted to say.
You guys wanted us back together. This is what you get when we're back together.
Okay, let me try that again. All right, Shakespeare, let's go. Notice I'm closing my eyes in order to say
But
it.
if I close my eyes, I can't see my notes.
That's the benefit of being the sidekick. I don't have to look at the notes, just comment and destroy
Why do
you.
I share the notes with you? Should I even bother
so that
anymore?
I can follow along and make fun of you when you can't say the words, obviously. Fuck.
I hope you guys learn. This has been educational for you.
This is why we split up at one time. And then Iro goes, no, don't ever do that again. This is why. Oh my God. Where's the issue?
Okay. We can do this. We can do this.
We can do this. We can do this. We can do this. We can do this. Mantra-sizing. I think I peed my pants.
I'm this close to it.
Yes, you said it was like jazzercising. Or no, exercising, not jazz.
I mentioned jazzercise.
Okay, get yourself together.
Okay.
All right, Shakespeare, come on, let's go.
Okay. So protocols are like mantras, but instead of words per se, they're actions. Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm over here.
All right, good. Just keep hiding.
Okay.
They will help deepen your submission and your surrender because they're basically reinforcing the psychological state of surrender. So in other words, does that make you more submissive? I don't know. Got it? And it helps reinforce the submissive mindset and behavior. Now, the important thing with the mantras is these mantras have to be tailored to the submissive's desires, their preferences, and their boundaries, as with anything else. Because for a dominant to just assign a mantra, like if they were to assign a mantra to well, I mean, nobody's going to assign a mantra to me at this point, but just as an example, if I had, let's say, a dominant who was trying to assign a mantra to me about how I will stay organized and on top of things,
okay,
it'd be like, well, duh, I don't need a mantra for that.
First of all, I feel like the mantra should be something that you need to work on, not something you already do.
But that's the point. It needs to be specific to the person saying it, or it means nothing and it's a waste of time. It needs to be pacific. And it doesn't have, don't start, we're finally under control. And it doesn't have to be, I mean, look, for me, the one that I used to have was because I was feeling very insecure about my looks. And, listen, I don't look like I used to look. I'm older now.
Okay, no offense, but you're a lot better looking now.
I know. It's weird, isn't it?
I don't understand what the problem was.
But now you understand why I was insecure then. I'm much better looking now.
Okay, good point.
I went through an awkward phase.
When you turned 50?
I was in my 40s, actually. By the time I turned 50, I was growing out of the awkward phase. But 40 to 50 was an awkward phase.
That's not a normal time period for your awkward phase, Rara.
I wasn't an awkward teenager, sorry.
I really wasn't either. Okay, my awkward phase was probably 25 to maybe 30-ish.
Yeah. Now, my awkward stage was probably 40 to 50 because I was mom first and me second.
Yeah, no, that sucks. That's not what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I figured something out.
Okay.
You remember we were talking about how, I think it was some episode that I was editing the other day, but we were talking about how the people in our life are saying, hey, you're so pretty, da-da-da-da-da. And we're like, no, I'm not. I don't even have any makeup on yet.
Yeah.
I figured out why Daddy J does that.
Yeah?
Because he doesn't want me to think he only thinks I'm pretty when I'm wearing makeup. So he specifically says it when I'm not.
No, that makes sense. And I think that's wonderful where he's coming from. It's just, I know for me personally, I would hope my partner thinks I'm pretty, no matter what I look like.
With or without.
Right? It just, I guess it's the acknowledgement that all the effort I put into getting ready paid off.
Yeah, I like those. But I mean, I think it's cute that he's trying so hard to not make me think that.
Right. So you want to incorporate, the mantra has to be specific to the person who's saying them. Otherwise, they mean nothing and they're just useless and you'll get frustrated. You also want to figure out techniques. When are you going to integrate this mantra into your life? Is it as part of a ritual that you have to say it every morning when you wake up, or every night before you go to bed, or every time you look in a mirror, you have to remind yourself that you're beautiful and have value? I mean, whatever the mantra is. Maybe it's during a scene. Before you start every scene, you have a mantra, I will submit to my partner, or I will take whatever my partner gives me. Maybe it's part of your aftercare rituals, the mantra, so that even if you had to say for it during a scene, you remind yourself as part of your aftercare rituals, I'm still a good submissive. I'm still, valuable, even though I had to say for it, like whatever it is.
I'm trying not to talk, because every time I open my mouth, we go into giggles. So I'm not.
You gotta be serious. This is a serious educational podcast.
Since when?
I don't know.
When did we start that?
Never. Actually, that's not true. The first few episodes we did, because we thought we needed to be.
And that was a mistake, clearly. But once we found out who we should be, we haven't looked back.
All right, ready? Do I have enough time to talk about how to craft a personalized mantra?
You do.
Oh, excellent. I think this one will go a little easier.
Okay, good. Yeah, because this is the part that everybody actually wants.
Right. I know, but I know you like to know the whys.
I do. I like to know the whys and everything, but then we got really stupid silly, so we were, I do. I actually enjoyed listening to all of that, though. I will tell you. Very good job.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. All right, so let's do step 1 in crafting your personal mantra is identifying what your personal goals, values, and intentions are. And I probably should just take a step back for a second. And if you are going to incorporate mantras into your dynamic, you can sit down, the dominant and the submissive can sit down together and craft it, or the submissive can craft it by themselves. I highly do not recommend for a dominant to assign a mantra to their partner until they've sat and discussed it.
So what?
And like gone through this process.
Like, don't automatically just say, you must say, I look beautiful to myself in the mirror 5 times in the morning.
Because maybe this particular submissive doesn't have that insecurity and they don't need it, and it becomes a waste of time. And when you have to start doing things that you view as stupid as part of your dynamic, that's going to create resentment with your dom.
Honestly, that's just going to make you feel like the entire dynamic is stupid.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a bratty little that has oppositional defiance issues.
Right. Remember, we've talked about, at least in our opinion, the hierarchy of needs and wants, that the submissive's needs come first. And if you are not giving them what they need, but are giving them what you as the dominant want, you've messed up the hierarchy and there's a problem.
I can see a lot of people going off on that and saying, well, why can't the dominant's needs come first? Let's just clarify, it's needs first, then wants.
It's, for those in case you're new to us, it is submissive needs, dominant wants, and submissive wants.
And how close together those are up to you.
And here's the thing. If your submissive is not getting what they need, they're not going to be able to submit to you.
And, by that extension, if a dominant isn't getting what they need, they're not probably going to be able to dominate either. It's going to come across not dominant. It's going to come across something else, or they're just not going to do it. Speaking as the person who is dominant for the most part, if I'm not feeling it, I suck.
Right. And for me, my need to take care of you, to be a caretaker, comes easily as a dominant because that's what I'm doing. I'm taking care of you. So my need is being met.
Yeah, so that's not a problem.
No. All right. But the first thing you do is identify the personal goals, values, and intentions of the person saying the mantra. And we're just going to assume, for argument's sake, in this case, it's the submissive.
Okay.
Right. So you need to encourage introspection and self-reflection. So think about what is your goal here? What is the desired outcome? What is your aspiration? What are your motivations? What are your priorities? So let's just say for the purpose of this as an example, you have a submissive who has doubts in their ability to handle a tough scene, a tough impact scene.
Okay.
All right. So they are very down in themselves, or they're comparing themselves to other people because that person A over there can handle X amount of pain. I could never handle that amount of pain. I must not be a good sub and I must be a disappointment to my dom.
Oh, yeah. And we've seen lots of that. That's an actual real legit thing that happens. People talk about it in our server a lot. So
you're going to utilize goal setting strategies. What do you want? What is your objective for this mantra practice? Well, your objective is to convince the submissive to be convinced that they have value just the way they are, and they are a good submissive just the way they are, and you as the dominant are proud of them and satisfied with where they are. You want to, of course, make sure that all of this is aligning with everybody's values and long-term goals. Otherwise, it's not going to be relevant, any of this. The next thing you want to do is select meaningful words, phrases, or sounds. So you're going to delve into the symbolism and the significance and understand the words that you choose to be part of this mantra need to mean something. So creating a mantra that would just say that all I say is, I am a good submissive. Like, what does that mean? That's not necessarily going to solve the problem, because I know I'm a good submissive in this section. It's that section that I feel like I'm not a good submissive. So just creating a mantra of I'm a good submissive is just not going to fix the problem.
No, it's way too general.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be specific.
Very specific. So you might have to try different mantras until you find one that, like, pardon my pun, speaks to you as you're speaking it. And hopefully I will also get out this worksheet to create your mantra in June. And you'll see in the worksheet, it's going to have you come up with some different words to try and different drafts of a mantra.
Well, the good news is this does not come out until June.
Excellent. So
June 14th.
Woohoo! So I have a goal in mind. I will get this out by
So
June
we
14th.
might
I will
even-
get this out by June 14th. I will get. Sorry.
Wait, you have to be more specific. You didn't say what you're getting out
I know.
by June
I left
14th.
it that way, so I'll get
Okay.
something out. It could be poop. I don't know.
You want to know the worst part? The worst part is that's what I was thinking. And then you went ahead and said it. And I was like, oh, the maturity.
I'm old, not mature. Difference.
Nobody ever accused you of being mature.
And when everyone says you never act your age, I know.
Thank God.
All right. But you want to understand the principles of effective affirmation, such as the framing of the statement in the present tense and using positive language. So you're going to have to come up with a mantra that you're going to refine. What you come up with the first time might not work. List the things that you want to accomplish with this mantra. So in the example that I've been using here, you might say something like, in the example of this mantra, you might say something like, my dominant is satisfied with how I am during a scene. I do not need to, or you say, and if that doesn't work, then you say, I do not need to take more pain for my dominant to be satisfied. Or maybe then next time you say, I do not need to take more pain to be valuable to my dominant. Or I do not need to take more pain to be more submissive, right? Like you're going to just keep working through different iterations.
Yeah.
Until you find one that you're like, okay, that one works. And let's be deeply honest here. You could say it every day. It doesn't necessarily mean that in a week, problem solved. It may never be solved. You might have this mantra that you are saying to yourself every day for months, for years, until you finally start to believe it. And I would not do a practice of like 5 or 6 mantras. Like start off with one and keep using that one until you see a difference. And then maybe when that's reached a stage where you're like, yeah, I'm in a really good point with this. Now let's work on issue number 2 and create a mantra for that.
Is the alcoholic's prayer, isn't that a mantra?
Yes, very much so. I will change the things
that
I can. I will accept the things I can't.
So could you make a version of that for like a submissive? And
absolutely. Okay. If that's a way for you to start with that. Now, when you want to also develop the routine. So you've created your mantra. Now, what's the routine? When are they going to say it? Are they going to say it every single day? Are they going to say it when they wake up in the morning? Are they going to say it before they go to sleep? If it's about, you're worried that you're not taking enough pain, do you say it before you start a scene? Do you say it before you look at pictures that other submissives are sharing of their bruises? Because that happens, guys. Right? Like what is the protocol, the ritual that you're going to follow with these mantras? Depending upon how you're setting up what your mantra is, what the purpose is, do you need to also set up as part of this ritual that you're in let's say, a quiet space to do it? Or is it you're standing in front of the display of the BDSM toys, looking at them, going, I do not need to take more pain.
So Rara's mantra is going to be, I will not buy more toys. I will not buy more toys. I will not buy more toys.
I can assure you that does not work.
You've tried it?
I've tried it many, many times. You can use mantras to navigate challenges or conflicts or even emotional triggers in your dynamic. So maybe you create a mantra about how just because you're dominant does or says this doesn't mean they're angry at you. And you have to constantly remind yourself of this.
I need that one.
Right? Things like when your boss says they want to see you, you remind yourself, just because my boss wants to see me does not mean I'm in trouble. Just because my boss wants to see me does not mean I'm in trouble. Darn, I were just talking about that earlier today. Like, doesn't matter how fucking old you are. When your boss says, I want to talk to you, first thing, oh my God, I'm going to be fired.
Yeah. when your significant other too says, hey, can we talk? Oh, fuck what I do. Oh my God.
Right? I hate that. And the worst is when they tell you that in the morning, but you know you can't talk to the and all damn day.
My fucking mother does this to me all the time. She goes, hey, can you call me as soon as you're done with work? My first thought, grandma died.
My sister is under orders when she calls me to first say, everybody's okay.
Right?
Because normally we just talk, similar to you and I, we just talk by text. So if the phone actually gets picked up, that's my first thought is, oh, fuck, what the hell happened?
Right? Seriously, texting has ruined conversation. We all panic when somebody calls.
Okay. I saw a great TikTok that talked about the nerve of people who you text them, and instead of texting you back, they pick up the phone and call you. Like, what the fuck is that? I texted you, you text me back. You do not call me back.
That's common courtesy.
Please, people.
Well, you did that to me.
Yeah, I know. And then I had to apologize. I didn't mean to scare you.
She gives me panic attacks when she calls me.
All right. Your mantra can include things like deep breathing. Right? Like before you even say the mantra, you have to take in 5 deep breaths and exhale. And then you say the mantra. Your mantra ritual could be you have to say the mantra a certain amount of times. It's not sufficient to say it once. You say it to yourself 5 times, and then that's it for the day. You want to, when you say a mantra, to be very mindful about it, to be present when you say it, not to have it be just a checklist. Oh, yeah, what do I got to do this morning? I got to send a good morning text. I got to send the good morning picture. I got to say my mantra. Check, check, check. Okay. Because if you do that, then the mantra's not going to work for you.
No, it's not, what's the word I'm looking for, mindful enough to do it that way?
Yeah. Mindfulness is really important in the saying of your mantra. So if you're a dominant who is helping your submissive craft a mantra, include all that in there. You know, when you give them the rules for the mantra, don't just say, you have to say this mantra. Like, be more specific. You have to say this mantra at this time. You should take 5 minutes, especially if you have, and this is very common, guys, as we well know, there's a lot of people in this lifestyle with mental health issues like depression or anxiety. And so to create a mantra for them, really go all out. Have the mantra created, have the ritual of when they're supposed to say it, how they're supposed to say it. Are they supposed to say it out loud? Is it supposed to be just in their head? Do they have to be in a
quiet place?
In a quiet place. Do they have to be in a kneeling position as one of the submissive poses when they say it?
Do they have to be hogtied?
Right? Do you not live with your submissive? And therefore, this is the way they're going to say the mantra. Do you live together? And so the mantra is said with you there. Like, what, you have to be very specific.
I mean, there could be like voice recordings or a little video of you saying it one time, and then you send that, and it's just like a confirmation if that's one of your rules.
Oh, I love that. I love the whole idea that the dominant says something that gets recorded, and every day the submissive listens to them. And it might be something like, you are enough.
You are enough.
You are enough. You are what I want. Like, whatever it is. So, and that's something that they listen to.
Like, the dominant could record the mantra for the submissive to listen to just to get them started. And then the dominant says it the first 2 or 3 times, and then the submissive joins.
Right.
You know, this is just an idea for long distance, or if you're not living together or whatever that is.
Right. I mean, again, it depends on what your goal is with this mantra. Because sometimes you might have, like in the instance that we said, I could say I'm not enough because I don't take as much pain, which is funny. I wouldn't say that, but let's say Dar would say that. I'm not enough. I don't take as much pain. I wouldn't say that.
I wouldn't say that either, because my goal is not to take any pain. Right? But anyway.
But you know, right? You know what I mean.
For the sake of argument, yes, I know.
You.
Just I enjoy fucking with you.
It might be sufficient that I could say it over and over again, but I don't believe it. I think you're just telling me as the dom, you're just telling me that because you don't want me to feel bad.
Lip service.
Right?
It feels like lip service. So if you truly don't believe it and somebody else is telling it to you, it doesn't do shit.
Right? So I love the idea in a situation like that, where the mantra ritual is you hear the dominant saying it to you 2 or 3 times or however many, then you say it together 2 or 3 times, and then you say it by yourself 2 or 3 times. So it becomes the natural, you've said it, so it must be true. I'm saying it with you, and now I'm telling myself this, that it is true.
I think that's actually a really cute way of doing it.
I know people who they'll do mantras about stuff like that. I know most people the mantra is somewhere along the lines of addressing their insecurities as far as looks, or I'm not submissive enough, or
they're just repeatedly saying, I am not enough.
Yes, I am not enough, which is sad because you are.
You are enough.
Have you ever had mantras that you've included either as the dominant where you had your submissive say mantras, or you do with Daddy J or anything?
Not specifically. Not to the point where I would say they were mantras or that I would have recognized as a mantra. But you know the thing where people say, stop calling my wife those bad things.
Yeah.
Or, excuse me, do you think I am a stupid person? No. It's more of a call and answer repeated thing.
At the time, yeah.
Yeah, that we do. We've done that a lot.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's actually, that would also make, let's say, a very good mantra in the sense.
Call and response. Is that what that's called?
I don't remember.
Like I say something and then it's a thing that I say. It's like a script.
Yeah.
And then you say something back.
Right.
Who's the cutest? Me. Who's the blah, blah. You could do something like that too.
Listen, I've heard a lot of times where it's like when the submissive is feeling insecure and the dominant reminds them, I chose you. So are you saying I chose wrong? Are you saying there's something wrong with me that I would choose?
Right.
Somebody
are you
like that?
calling me stupid for choosing a stupid person?
Right.
Daddy J and I do the exact opposite, where I'll say, in little mode, I'm like, you're stupid. And he says, excuse me, if I'm stupid, what does that make you?
Yeah, because you chose me.
Because you chose stupid, so what's that make you?
Stupider.
So yeah, we do that a lot.
Right. So I mean, that's another way to incorporate all of this. And as I said, one of the things I've seen it where I did it, it was a daily thing that I said to myself to help work on my insecurities. I've seen where it's part of the pre-scene ritual.
Oh yeah.
You go through, you have to be on your knees. You say, I can do this. I'm enough. I can handle this.
Oh, so one thing that I feel like would also work for you specifically.
Yeah.
But also for like any little, make it into a song.
Yeah. Well, we talked about earlier when I was trying to pronounce all the scientific words about it's the pattern. It's not just the words. The words are definitely important too, but it's also the pattern. That's why a lot of these mantras that are used in religious settings have a definite flow to them, have a definite
they have a rhythm,
tempo, rhythm, and that's all part of it.
Makes it easy to memorize, makes it easy to say without thinking.
Right.
You ever see somebody do the rosary? Like
Can't
Catholic do the rosary? It's very rote. There's a grand total of like 3 prayers that you do, and you count. Each bead is a different prayer. Each type of bead is a different prayer. And they're different sizes and textures, literally, so you don't even have to think about it. You just feel it, and you click, click, click. It's like a circular abacus of this is what this means, this is what this means.
Yeah. I mean,
it's all by rote.
We have certain prayers in Judaism that obviously when they were written, I don't think you can't really write the music in the Torah, in the Bible, whatever, but we all say it to a certain song.
Well, the music would have been put to it much, much later.
But
Same thing.
We've added the song and having that singing along. If you have somebody there with the piano or the organ, or I've been to synagogue where we've had a guitarist. How
modern.
Yes, I know. It was very cool. And that's great and stuff. But even in my own head, like when I say the prayer, if I say the prayer in my own head, I hear the music, even though there's no music playing, folks. It's just in my head. It just like I find myself, I can't even just say the prayer, like the Shema. I cannot just say the Shema. I find even if I start off just going Shema Yisrael, and I start going Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, like I switched to songs. Listen, I used to, when I was a kid, I used to sing. This should show how old I am. This will not mean much to you, but all my Gen Xers who listen, though with a smaller group, will understand this. Okay, so Donny Osmond and Marie Osmond had a TV show, and his favorite color is purple. And there was a superhero skit that they did. And it was similar to like a Superman thing, but the code word for him to change into the superhero was the word purple backwards, El Prop. And for whatever reason, when I was a kid, every time, instead of the Echad, I thought they were saying El Prop.
So weirdly enough, I did actually hear of that because my mother used to watch that, even though my mom is a boomer.
Well, yeah, because I was a kid when it was on. She would have been
like a teenager. She was in love with Donny Osmond. So
everybody was. We still are. Even to this day, we still are.
She actually has referenced that. Oh my God, that's wild.
You'll have to tell her that. Yes,
I will.
It was a big thing, the El Prop. But I used to do Adonai El Prop.
Well, you'll appreciate there's a song that I used to solo when I was in church choir called El Shaddai.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I hear El Shaddai, I automatically sing that song in my head.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and that makes it what a mantra is that it just, and it falls into a pattern and it brings comfort. Like that's the whole point of it. It's supposed to bring you comfort. I think that's like it. I mean, I am very curious to, and I'll put this when I put this whole thing together in the poll. Do you incorporate mantras into your dynamic? Do you find them helpful? You know, what are some samples, examples of mantras that you tend to use in your dynamics? Are they specific to you or are they specific to your dynamic? Is it more like, I have an insecurity that whether I was in a dynamic or not, I would have this insecurity and I should work on that with a mantra? Or is it, I have an insecurity related to the dynamic and that's what the mantra is for? That kind of stuff. So, and I will push myself. There's a couple of things I know I've been talking about a couple things that I want to do. So I will just have to find the fucking time to do it. I have a vacation next month. Maybe I'll work on some of this.
Look, I've got vacation coming up and I've already got 3 big projects that I want to work on.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep. And I keep thinking of more because I'm an idiot.
All right, ready? Let's do this. Let's do a mantra.
Okay. What are we doing?
We will complete these projects in June.
We will complete these projects in June. Wait, summer or June or what month are we doing this?
Do you want to make it summer so you don't?
I don't know. Like, start with June and then we can maybe have an extension.
Okay.
I will complete these projects in June
and a possible extension.
Okay. I will complete these projects in June and a possible extension.
Thanks for hanging out with us today. If you enjoyed what you heard, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a minute of our fun and educational content. New episodes drop every Friday.
If you love what we do and want to show support, there are several ways. Join us on Patreon at patreon.com/pinkkinkpodcast. You can support our affiliates or help spread the word about our kinky podcast to your friends.
Don't forget to rate and review Pink Kink on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Those 5-star reviews go a long way in boosting our podcast through the algorithm and reaching more listeners.
Sign up for our Pink Kink Institute classes. Shop at our Etsy shop, Pink Kink Boutique. Stay connected with us on social media. You'll find all the links on our link tree posted in the show notes.
Your support means the world to us. So until next time, stay pretty, stay safe,
and stay twisted.